All right, coming back to the discussion about Zenith and trauma and everything, and I have a reply from Nightwing, who was the guy I was engaging with in the last video. Apparently there was a long comment chain, the whole thing got deleted. He doesn't know what happened, I don't know what happened. I guess there's a minuscule chance I Butterfinger did something to it when I was viewing it on my mobile on the bus, but I don't think that happened because I don't recall it having that long of a comment chain when I viewed it, so I think it continued well beyond when I saw it. I don't know enough about YouTube to say what happened. Maybe it got flagged. I really have no idea, but apologies from my end for sort of assuming that you were being nuts, and maybe that you thought I was being nuts, and I don't know, something happened and we don't fully know. But anyway, okay, moving on to the content. Yeah, fair enough on the Golem. Another commenter mentioned it, so I looked at that. Molten Strike Man is fine, yeah. I don't... A huge pad... It's like the whole idea of the build. So, I mean, you can test it and say that it doesn't... That in your opinion it doesn't work, but it's not a pad to me. It's the idea of a build, and it's not like trauma stacks are an unknown thing in Poe. For many leagues, the main league starter was Bone Shatter. I know trauma stacks. People know trauma stacks. Yeah, we're not expecting to have capped trauma all the time, and I mentioned that in the video that this is commenting to. Anyway, yeah, okay. Gonna feel awful in terms of clearing. Fair enough. We are trying to build up attack rate. But yep. Quality config, no returning credentials. I do mention this. I don't know if I mentioned it in the comment or I just mentioned it in the description. I think I just mentioned it in the description. Yeah, a holdover from Conor's thing, but you're right, I should have pointed it out. No returning projectiles. It was very weak. Well, yeah, but then in his, he's not even accounting for the reduced damage it does on the return. I avoided the returning projectiles entirely. But fair enough. Look, you have your thoughts, and let's see what you've come up with. Yeah, that's fine. So this is looking at Nightwing's build. One thing that jumps out to me is this is higher than level 89. Not the end of the world. I'll probably take it down to 90 just because that's where I tend to view builds, but nothing wrong with making something at 93. He's going more in on the sword nodes. Got some good rage build up, so we're not going to have any questions on rage anyway. Let's look at the items. He's using the not SSF items, which maybe he's a trade league player, I don't know. But if I was going to take this to an SSF thing, I would at least get rid of the T2 plus uniques, so I'll just make some armor. We know that the life rolls are going to be improved, and there's going to be a whole nother tier of armor, so I'm just going to go ahead and put very good stats on this, which is the same thing when I did mine, because we know this is not even the highest tier armor anymore. Do we need any res? Ooh, rough chaos res. We'll give it a little bit of chaos res. Instrumentus. Make an amulet. This will give you a little bit of Chaos Res as well. Don't think that's an unreasonable amulet to give him. Cyclopean's a bit unreasonable though. Chronovis there's a div card for, so I'll include it even though I avoided it personally. Once we lose Astromantis, we do start to have some other issues pop up, but obviously it's not a big jump, it's a fixable thing. I have that turned off on mine as well. You always have the conditional ones turned off for defense. Okay, let's look at the configuration. Got the same thing that Conor had and that I had. I'm going to assume the rage is correct because I saw a bunch of rage nodes. Life type, obviously, our frenzy. I'm pretty sure he has the same thing I picked. Yeah. Cool. So let's see where we're at. I need to get it down to level 90. So what am I taking off for 3 points? It's a chunk of your rage. How much am I losing here? 1.8. How much does this hurt leech? Why come this way when you have it right here? What's being gained? A little bit of attack speed? So we're losing 1.8 per point. And you're not getting the mana leech then. Well, apparently you still have mana leech. Am I missing something? How are you leeching mana? Alright, I need to do my work for me. How are we leeching? What am I missing? I mean, he clearly has it. It's showing up in POB. Is it one of the sword nodes? Is it just in here and I missed it? Attack damage is life. As life. As life. Where's this mana leech coming from? Oh, from Crown of Ice. Okay, got it. Well, that's nice to have then. That does make it even nicer. Cool. Alright, I do see where that has emerged from then. Need to drop 3 points. How much are you getting off of this? 1.9 per point? That's not too bad to lose. Do you need this? It's just, yeah, that's fine to cut then. Then I can give 1 point back somewhere. Where's the fair point to give him? Oh, yeah. Boom, done. Cool. Okay, I think we've gotten this to a fair point. Oh, would it have been better to take these 1.7 per point compared to? Oh yeah, that's more reasonable, and that doesn't lose him this. Yeah, cool. Well, cutting these two and keeping this one because it's more efficient. Ooh, that means I can give him 1 more point. Okay. Any of these good? No. Give him corrupt blood immunity. That's always a good one to have. Okay. So, without making too major of a change, we cut a few small damage nodes to get it to level 90, and then I just added in corrupted blood immunity because why not, and got the sufficient jewel slot took the gear to more reasonable things. Now let's see the bones of the build, as it were. This is lower than my effective hit pool, right? after that complaining. Like, even if I turn that on, isn't it lower than my effective? All right. Yeah, that's substantially lower than mine. What a weird comment. Okay, whatever. Even when I put on the not SSF armor, it's substantially lower. But okay, whatever. Definitely did see sufficient rage, so that's grand. I'm not sure, to be honest, what the independent value is. I definitely appreciate that you actually have the frenzy charge. You actually have the rage source. You have a source of leech, which is important. I like that. I like that the configuration makes more sense to me compared to Connor's. If I'm comparing it to mine, then I wonder a little bit where some of this criticism was coming from, because, like I said, the effective hit points is less. We have it at 1.56 million. Let's take my trauma down to half even, which I think it's at like 40. Sustainable, I have 44. We'll say I only have 22. And it's still giving up so much. I'll even, how low do I have to take my trauma stacks before this is okay? If I only have 5 trauma stacks, which is insane given that I have 82 movement speed, increased duration nodes everywhere. But if I somehow only have 5 trauma stacks, then it's comparative on damage. My effective hit pool is stronger. I think my max hit was stronger as well. To me, the version that I presented is clearly stronger. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Did you have a source of fortify, or you just got rid of the fortify because it was unreasonable, maybe? Does not have fortify tick. That's probably some of the difference in effective hit points. But I mean, it's not built in, so you wouldn't have it. To me, I think this is what I like about what you've presented, is that I think it's the fully fair version of what Connor's presented, and then me taking the gear down to self-found makes it even fairer. But if you look at this version and you look at my version, I think that my trauma version with pillar is clearly much stronger. All else being equal. I guess we can look at this. So I should put in returning projectiles to make it totally fair, because that is a difference. So what is my weakest? Would be definitely rage, but 28, 18, 28. Take that. Say 15 trauma stacks, which should be incredibly easily achievable. 10. How low do I have to go? Fuck's sake. Okay. If I have 8 or more trauma stacks, then I think this is clearly better. That's just my opinion. One thing I noticed as well is on yours you had it even on 12 count, which is even less likely to hit them all, because greater multiple projectiles spreads them in a further range, so it's less likely to be concentrated on the enemy that you want it to hit. But anyway, maybe you feel that there's something that I'm missing, but I'm honestly not sure what it would be. I think this is just clearly the stronger version of the build. I do appreciate your engagement. I appreciate you making what I think is a fairer version of Connor's original design. But sort of regardless of how anti-trauma you are, I don't think it's reasonable to say that, oh, I'm not even going to be able to get 8 trauma stacks. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more increased duration nodes. I could put more duration on and go even further. It's just, yeah. People that have played trauma understand that it's not going to be a full 44 all the time, but they're also going to understand that, it's going to be more than 8 as well. Still getting big hits at the end. I hope that's fair and that I didn't come off mean. I feel like I was sort of in a weird mood on this interaction, and some of it was not your fault. Some of it was just that the YouTube deleted the thing and you got confused and I was confused. But anyway, I hope that's fair. And good luck with the league.